So this is the product we're using here. Spring Creek is the flavor of it. I'll show you over what I did yesterday. Airstone. It's first time I used it yesterday. Here's what we did so far. I'll explain why I started there. Maybe everybody wouldn't start there, but we had a few things going on. The hearth, I got it covered in tools. I made that little jig. I'll show you that jig here in a second. The hearth, and the reason I started up here, I took a board. I took a board and I mounted it all the way across so my rock would have something to sit on, nice and level and flat. And then I went all the way up, which isn't that far, it's only about 30 inches or something. Then they're gonna put a nice piece of pine or something to make a nice mantle up at the top. Yeah, now on the corners, you see, they got it figured out pretty good. They make these, you buy a separate box of the corners, and they match up. They come one finished turn piece, and then they give an adjoining piece that matches up pretty darn good, you know. So the corner looks pretty good. I suppose I could have probably done better on it, but I think it's a pretty nice detail. And then now I got to work backwards, starting from here my way down, and return it to the floor. We're going to leave the finished floor in this room is going to be this. It's dirty now. It's just a piece of LVP, luxury vinyl plant flooring. It's nice. See? It's just a piece of thin flooring. But I'm setting that there as my gauge. So then when I put the stone on, I'm going to leave the stone just a little bit above that flooring. Then that scrap piece of flooring will get pulled out. Then the new flooring will slip right underneath there. And it looks like we actually installed this stone right on top of the floor, instead of vice versa. So, and you start the saw. I don't know if I can hold this at the same time. Probably not. But, well, you get the idea. You hold the saw. You start the saw up. And you make the cut. And it makes, other than that little bit of dust on there, makes a pretty clean cut, just with a jigsaw. Another tip, tell you all about it, but that's, I don't know, that's basically it. You know, you of course want to stagger your colors. They have color-coded markings on their packages when you open it up. I think there's 3 colors, there's maybe 4. And I was dry setting it on the floor. Instead of just starting up here and trying to figure out my pattern, I would lay it out on the floor, a good portion of it, so I could see where to put the larger rock, and then how to start offsetting them. And you want to stagger, of course, your joints, and then intermittently place the colors. Like this one here, I did, this color is the same with this one to kind of, and then I staggered it, you know, to kind of give it a more of a random look, and then intermittently placing the colors so it's not all one or the other, you know. So that's kind of the gist of it. I'm gonna go mix my mud up and start, because I've got to finish this job and go home. So I'll talk to you on the next one. Alright, now I'm starting to work my way down, and I'll show you how I'm doing this. You see I'm using these sticks. I mean, it's working. You just use them for a minute. Now you want to scratch coat your brick good. It's very important. can't just stick it directly to the brick. You have to work the mud into the brick. Now, we're alternating the corners. This leg is taking a little while because it's a corner here and a corner here, and you alternate one finished corner to one finished corner. You alternate the corners so it's not just a straight line down. You alternate them. And they did do a pretty good job. You really try not to get the thin set on the face of it. They did a pretty good job of lining these up. I don't know if both ends match up the same. Pretty close. No, that was a little bit thick. So what I'm doing, they call it airstone. I mean, it's light. It's very light. Now, I'm just putting a little bit of mud on here. And I'm trying to stay away from my top edge and my bottom edge and everywhere it might gonna show. I'm not loading it up with the mud. I don't want to have any squeeze out at all on this base. And it doesn't take much. That's way more than enough mud to hold this little piece of rock up there, you know. So I'm kind of buttering both pieces together. Doesn't take much, but again, like you did on the brick, how you drive the mud into the brick, you kind of want to drive it into that piece of rock, get it into this little pores and nooks and crannies there. Cut it a little bit big. I'm just taking this little pole saw here. Just a simple little pine stick. Doing a fine job. Now when I set the stone, it's like a piece of tile. You just kind of, you know, work it in there a little bit. And just put that stick there. It doesn't take much to hold it up either. Put that where it goes and where you like it. That's okay. I'm just holding the piece up. Put a little mark on it. Come over to our little cutting jig we made. And I am going to use the square. Just square that up so I don't meander too much. Now I'm going to cut.